Yeah. Well,
So
I just found
malware.
a shop that is selling Monster again, so I am drinking energy drink that is not Red Bull, which is nice.
Hmm.
I've heard that stuff actually works in Europe.
What? Monster?
Oh, Red Bull.
Yes.
Yeah, Red Bull.
I was given an opportunity to try Red Bull once here in the States, and I was thoroughly underwhelmed. I started calling it Pink Cow because of that.
Yep. I am just reading the back of a can of Monster, and do you want to know what is the suggested amount to drink on a day?
Half of the can.
1/3 of a can.
Half of the can. Half of the can.
Half. Oh, I was right.
Yeah. 250 milliliters. Like, why do you sell it in half liters if you're not supposed to drink more than half a can?
Oh,
Like-
that's just because of health and safety regulations. They sell
Yeah.
the amount that people want to drink, but they divide it up so that it doesn't sound as unhealthy as what you're actually drinking.
They're like, here's a serving recommendation, but we're gonna sell you 3 times that much. Have fun with your heart attack.
Here's a bag of
Yeah.
chips. 3 chips is serving size.
Yeah, I've seen
Yep.
stuff like that.
Half a candy bar? Who stops at the first half? I mean, they didn't even
Like-
make it 2 pieces. Here's one thing, but only eat half of it.
Only eat 2 bites, and then put it down and eat 2 bites tomorrow.
Yeah, the worst one is, have you ever seen the Reese's 3-pack?
Of course.
It's like,
Oh yeah.
serving size, 1 of the cups. Don't forget to share the other 2. Who shares?
Well, like, I'm gonna say with soda cans, that is probably the worst, because
Mm.
if you want to follow it, how are you gonna close up the can again?
That's why they
Oh.
sell those dumb plastic things that hook on the top.
I just
Mhm.
use there's like that cellophane that has like it's like used to like you put over bowls and stuff and
Bang
you
wrap.
can, I
Mhm.
use that.
Yeah, that also works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I use that and I just keep using it for the same can because I can only drink like a little bit at a time. I'm weird.
I get it.
Yeah, for me, my trick is just to empty the can.
Yeah,
Can't go
Oh.
flat if there's nothing in it.
It's
Yeah.
just too much in one sitting. It's too much.
Understandable.
yeah. So I'll be bouncing in 20 minutes because I just drank a can in 5 minutes.
Yeah, no
Ah.
problem.
Did it-
But yeah, we'll get started. We keep going on tangents, so I'll start it now. The team moves into the library. They met a nice basilisk individual that could speak with them. You guys attempted to kill them, but apparently after you heard it sing, you decided against it. Honestly, what happened? You managed to get to the library without too much of an issue. There you found a giant stone guy, or as most people call them, stone giants. I don't know why I went the opposite direction. But you managed to get an audience with Urmas, I believe, the keeper of the present. They, I honestly don't remember what you went there to ask them about, other than like the side mission Boom had.
Yep.
I also didn't get a
We were
chance
supposed
to.
go to the library to find something. We were looking
Okay.
for information and heading specifically to the library to do it.
We were looking for a copy of the Wedding Crashers so we'd have inspiration for our mission.
No, I get that, but Gothos was also looking for something else. I just don't remember what it was, and I forgot
Oh,
to
the-
check last session.
I think it was the Sword of Isaac, because you had teased that earlier.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was Volt who offered to help me find it or something.
Vol's the one that told you about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they offered to help you. I mean, they would if you asked, but I don't know if they offered to help you. But
Requests were made, I think. Yeah.
After Boom got the little item, then got like a finch's egg soon afterwards. Never really figured out that one. Most people thought, I don't know, do we eat it? And that was about it. Currently has the egg in hand. Unfortunately, you guys did lose someone last session. which is Toulouse's giant robot. It was not recoverable after it sacrificed its life to help out Antidote, not just immediately die.
Fair trade.
Half the group wanted to try to salvage the heart of the creature, but none of them, in all good consciences, knew that in game. So many people tried and failed. I think a couple of you got like 5s, 3s, 7s, and 8s.
It's not
Hey,
great.
didn't we lose a Z team or something? Or
No, the Z team's still alive. The remaining
Oh.
teams still alive are the Z team and the dwarves, the shield dwarves. The others kind of perished, but they were never truly relevant because I forgot they were
Well-
there and just made them like long-range fighters.
Brought them
So
along
it's-
to murder them.
yeah, we lost the D team and the E team. So that'd be the deceased team and the expired team.
But at the library, you did manage to speak with, obviously, Urmos, and then you're heading towards Ulthor to perhaps gain knowledge of the past. Unfortunately, though, no one knows how to navigate this area. I gave you a freebie the first time because, let's be honest, you're going to need it. But as you make your way back out of the area Urmos was at, you do see that they go back to doing what they were doing. A whole bunch of beasts that come into the room and collect notes, gather them, spread them out. Never really asked them about that, but that's what happened.
Ostava, I seek the future in the form of a scroll, a copy of the PDF.
What?
I guess our quest would be a lot easier if Keeper of the Future could just give us a copy of all the events that happen.
Yeah, that's true.
PDF form for convenience.
Like he's
Alright.
got to get with that.
But yeah, you begin to make your way.
Ostava's like, sorry, I cannot help. Did I mention that I don't like the PDF?
Oh. Major oof.
All the while, you do see that when you enter into the hallway, the area itself becomes muddled and muggy. You're not exactly sure what happened, but with the time you spent within the first hallway, it kind of seems like the rest of the area warped in space and time. I want one of you who believes that they have the best luck to go ahead and roll survival with disadvantage.
Well, that's not me.
Alrighty, I'll do it.
Give me a second. I believe it's me, actually.
Actually, I believe it's me only for the fact that I can reroll.
You can't
Like
reroll with
literal
this one.
luck in this case.
That
You can't reroll
You
with
can't
this.
re-roll. Your luck is
It's,
failing you now.
in that
It's
case, I
disadvantage.
only have a 3 in survival. You'll probably beat me.
Yeah, I have a 5 because I'm
Yeah,
proficient.
When you
I'm
said
a
a
0.
lucky character, it's like, oh, I've got luck.
I didn't mean luck.
Inspiration.
Because it's disadvantage, you can't technically reroll with that.
Okay.
Inspiration to
I'm gonna roll it, but it's not gonna count. So even if I get an awesome roll, we're not counting it. I just want to
Okay.
see what I would have gotten.
Well,
No, you're
apparently
still yeah.
I'm apparently rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to roll it.
Yeah.
What is the like? what is the
1d6?
D6.
Slash R1d. Okay, so that's an 11. My God, those words. It's an 11.
11. Or as the British say, 11.
Leave.
Okay.
I
Oh.
guess that's that word of elephant.
There was those binary speakers. 3.
Who says that?
Binary only has 0, 1, 2, my friend. There are no trees in binary.
That's what I'm
Here,
saying.
Yeah.
0 and 1, there is no 2.
So that's why a 1 and a 1 that adds up to 3.
Sure.
Joke in Futurama where Bender's having a nightmare and he's, it was all ones and zeros. And I think I saw a 2 in there.
It's okay, Bender.
There's
There's
no
no such thing as a
thing
2.
as-
Well, I
As
guess
you,
converting 11 would be 1-1-0-1.
true.
No,
Anyways,
1-0-1-1.
as you begin to move away from this tangent, you begin to enter into a hallway. As you do so, you get a weird impression with a vision in your mind and your eyes. As Sprat, you lead the team forwards. You begin to see an impressive drow archwizard in spider silk robes cast a mighty conjuration spell just above your current vision of sight. Roughly 120 feet. I think you have superior dark vision. Doesn't matter anyway. Up to the edge of your vision, and all of you can see this as well. As the ritual draws towards its conclusion, a web of Fazrez energy, I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, Faerzress, or for the British, Faerzress.
That's a made-up word, all right.
Energy expands outward. The wizard seems alarmed by this. His efforts to complete the spell growing more crazed as he realizes he's lost control. And then madness. Rifts open in the web of energy surrounding and around him. These cracks stretch and widen, and through them come horrific fiends that scream, shriek, and howl as were wretched from the abyss and cast into the Underdark. A woman's deep, dark laugh echoes in your mind as the drow wizard shrinks away from the demonic hordes he has unwittingly unleashed. I want all of you to go ahead and roll a wisdom save.
Oh.
Anybody?
Wait. I might have read that wrong. Okay, so only the first one that saw this, so it would be Bract.
Wisdom saving.
No. Do you have a passive perception of 13?
Yes, I have 15.
Cool. You do see that the individual does have a drow insignia on the wizard. If
Well, in that case, I'm gonna show them the insignia on my t-shirt. Which is a drow insignia.
Bract, go ahead and roll history, because I don't know if you know this specific person.
No, I don't.
I see. You get the name Menzel Berenzin. Like, you've heard it before, you've seen it like connected with this emblem, but you forget where it comes from.
Okay, so his name is Manza Bonanza. Okay.
It's a city in the Underdark that you've been told about. You just don't remember what this symbol and that city is associated with.
Yeah. Sure. So I'm gonna look up, and I'm gonna just show him the drow symbol that is on my t-shirt. If I remember correctly, because it was a shirt of Lottel, if I remember correctly. A vestment of Lottel that is giving me, yeah. So, I'm gonna try that shenanigans before he starts throwing fireballs at us.
Okay, now I want all of you, now that you have the information, go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I would like to hug Gotos for good luck.
Yeah. Anybody within 10 feet of me gets a +5 bonus.
You're like in the same hallway, so I think everyone gets it.
And we all have to roll?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
You said a wisdom save?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, with a +5, that's 19.
Oops.
Yep.
I don't know why I rolled it with that on. Sorry. Normal.
I
Okay,
think I might have made it.
so-
Yeah.
Unless
I
the
don't know, it could be a
DC 12.
DC 27.
27 +5, right? 26. And then you have Gotos with 29.
No, my +5 is built in.
Oh yeah, yours is built in. Jesus. Yeah,
Did I pass or did I fail?
Uh,
I think I got a 12.
oh wait, man, I forgot one of you existed. With your +5s, I think most of you passed, but Toulouse, you did not. However, Nom Nom still exists, so he cures your madness.
I would love to have somebody else with madness.
Toulouse, you're
I've
fine.
had madness before.
It just never fully triggered because Nom Nom was there. Still is.
Yeah. So I don't have any then.
Nah, you're fine.
Yay, no.
You just can't
Yay.
figure out a way to get out of this current corridor. When you see the vision of this wizard, it begins to like fluctuate and dissipate and disappear, as if you were seeing something of the present, past, or future. You're not entirely sure.
Shenanigans.
Well, as he's just pointing to the place where the wizard was, I don't think that guy really wants us to stay around. As I described the bloke with the symbol on his shirt. Sorry.
Fucking Drow, always ruining things.
So where was he from again, Dogma? Because
Menzo
No offense,
Branson.
Flash.
oh yeah, I think he was from the town called Manza Bonanza, but I am not sure about.
People can go ahead and roll history.
But this is bad.
You
Why
can
am I
roll
saying
history.
this?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, I might have gotten it.
It's not man.
I don't know.
Oh,
Wow.
I really don't.
Well, it's a three nat 20s. Wow.
Dang. Those cat people were really paying attention in school.
Meow.
I know. Gobus was his wisdom saving throw. To the wizard and the.
Well, I mean, you guys, man, what a dumb thing to roll after 20 on. Knowing where an emblem comes from.
I also described the bloke.
Yeah, you
We
did.
all just have this random bit of information.
You never met the person. But you can tell that the iconography on the symbol represents a family of a house of the Drow family in Menza Borenzen. Recognizing the symbol, you both natural 20s. I'm going to give it to you both of you. Can tell it represents the house of Benre, Baenre. You recall the symbol well enough to draw it, obviously. So you easily can deduce that whatever this is, or whatever is going on, or whatever has happened, the house of Benre knows what is going on currently in this point in time. You can tell, because it's natural 20, it is not a vision of the future, but it could be a vision of the past.
You've done it before.
But because you can tell more or less that it's a vision of the past, that you're heading in the general direction of where you need to go to, visit the Keeper of the Past, you're just kind of lost right now. Okay.
I think I'm lost in more than one way, but hey.
Yes.
You can tell that the area behind you is no longer where the Keeper of the Present was. So you're effectively lost. You can't just backtrack. You can roll again with still disadvantage. I want to say -2 because you have no idea where you're currently at.
Well, Breck.
Anyone.
Rolling what?
Still survival. Disadvantage. I'm not going to give you the -2, but I feel like I should.
We could all
Okay.
roll it now.
Sure.
Yeah, anyone.
Well, we're improving.
Oh Lord.
It's still disadvantage towards everyone, but, might as well try to help.
Okay, I'm gonna try, I guess, because
Oh.
how much worse could I be than that?
7.
You beat me by the point. Ah.
Did everybody roll already? Crap, I was gonna tell somebody to take inspiration, but no.
Well,
Hey!
Hey!
One person that beat me. Oh, we have somebody to roll the 20.
Too bad you can't roll. Too bad you can't
Last
get
one-
inspiration.
last promo.
Still 2020. You managed to get through more or less a few maze systems, and you can tell that the foot pattern work on the ground is not perfect, but it's a good enough general direction where you can get out of this maze system. You get into a more or less chambered hallway, and you find what looks like general directions written in Giant, which is I believe it's Dwarven, like a relative branch of Dwarven. I don't know if you can read it, but with the help of the team, you manage to decipher where to go. You enter into another hallway, and there you find a giant Stone Giant. Currently, let's see here. Keeper of the Past. What are they currently doing? They seem to be sorting out files of text, maintaining an immersively vast catalog of items and organizing them. They look towards you and more or less they wave you inside.
We go inside. Oh, geez, what was his name? Scrolling. Uthrar?
I wrote it down, but I have to. I wrote it down poorly. The Keeper of the Past is like Uthar something. I'm probably saying that wrong.
No, it's Ulfa. You got it.
Okay.
Oops, I forgot to show it. Okay. They look to you pleasantly. Currently sorting out files. With those of you with like a passive 15 can tell that you can't tell how they're currently organizing the files, but they have their own system. But they look towards you, and simple enough, they go, "Oh, never seen you here before. Welcome. The name is Ulthar. A pleasure to meet you all. What brings you here?"
Blind luck for starters.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We're currently trying to prevent the Underdark being swallowed into sort of a fiery fiendscape. We were kind of wondering if something like that had ever happened before. But, you know, like searching for historical precedent, maybe how that was stopped.
Let's see here. He begins to look through the catalog. Underdark pitched in fire from. What'd you say beforehand?
Fiendish Wedding.
Fiendish Wedding. Not that I can relate. Most of the catalogs we have down here are based off of either the Underdark or the Giant Civilization. So if it doesn't relate to one or the other, I'm afraid we wouldn't have it. Although I could just be unlucky and not have found anything. That is also an option.
Anything about Toulouse? Boom. What was that house?
Oh, house. Dang it, I have it here.
I know it was
House.
Banright.
I don't
right,
know
yeah.
who house. Dang it! I thought I had it here. Yes. Yeah. You say the correct thing. Let's see here. Oh, right here. It seems that that house is currently, well, formerly, as I don't know the current present. We're trying to do something with arcanic power to summon something quite dangerous within this area. Unfortunately, since they did not succeed, I don't know what it... Well, in the past, they did not succeed. I don't know if they're currently doing it. I don't know what exactly they were trying to summon. But it does seem that a spell malfunctioned and they ripped open a crack within reality itself.
Any record as to what spell or why it malfunctioned?
15. That's pretty good. The spell is akin to summoning a greater being. In a sense, like summoning a familiar, something like summoning an elemental or something of that notion, but in a far grander scale. While it malfunctioned, if I had to guess, the Archwizard was not strong enough, or they were misled with what they were attempting to do.
When we saw that vision of the past, and I think you mentioned something about fiends, did we actually recognize any of those fiends? Or did any of them look like...
You saw like spine devils roaming around outwards. You see like pitch fire, red demons with wings jettisoning out of the ripped, I guess, gate. Are any of your characters familiar with the Abyss? Demons, devils, and then no, just
say
because you're from your Underdark doesn't mean you are.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. That's all I was doing. I was gonna ask if the Abyss and the other are similar.
Kind of,
Gothos
yeah.
speaks Abyssal.
Like, if actually, yeah, Gothos doesn't count. That just means you were religiously taught. Anyways,
Oh.
I'll just going back to Kobo. Has Kobo like ever purposely gone into Drow society?
Not purposely, no.
Has he ever been there
That's
other
been one of
than
the things
being
you always have
arrested?
to avoid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then probably
I
not.
don't know. That's why I was just asking. Just would I know about it? Because I don't know what my character knows.
Like if you were within Drow society for some time, probably could have rolled, but no.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Okay, just figured I'd ask.
Nope, I'm all above ground up until this crazy mission that my clueless superiors thought I'd be good at.
That tracks.
Sadly enough, my mother told me never to trust a drow, so I never went there.
That's fair. I'll give it to Gothos. Again, he's religiously taught, but he might know some things here and there. Go ahead and roll religion.
I shall.
Religion.
Not bad.
Yeah, I guess it's an okay roll.
You can tell that it was based on the vision you've seen and were told about. There were a bunch of lesser demons and devils just like breaking through. Not at the exact same time at you, but these things were gunning out as if they were preparing to, like once it opened, they were preparing to jump out in the instant it happened. You can tell they were prepped, ready to go, and there were a monotony of them. There wasn't just like one specific thing. There were a bunch of them. A lot of them lower level, but some of them higher level. And based off of the things that are going to get married soon, you can tell it only grew in higher expanse from that point on. And based off of that knowledge, since you rolled pretty well, you can tell that because someone basically ripped open a portal to the Abyss, this is likely how the Demon Lords are able to get through. Because normally they would be too strong to be able to be summoned here or like drawn to this area.
But a rip is different than a summoning.
Yeah.
Okay.
It allows their energy to go through enough that if someone summoned them here, they could potentially go through. Like the first time you met them.
Yeah, no, the vision was basically your standard sort of fiendish horde. They were ready for that thing to open, though. And that's probably how the other two got here, the big ones.
I'm honestly not sure what you're talking about, but I'll take your word for it. Because that came out of nowhere.
Wasn't somebody just asking about?
Yeah, but that was out of game.
Just musing to myself.
It's quite alright. You tell the team. What exactly? If you don't want to tell the team in front of this guy, that's fine, but you can if you want to. Depends if you trust him.
I mean, it was just a vision.
Yeah,
But
that's
we
true.
were asking about it.
Oh, of
He'll put
course.
it on our permanent record.
Well, this area does, depending on the area you stand at, you can get visions of the past, present, and future. And if you do have one of the, hang on, I'm scrolling through my text. Takes out something. If you do have one of the stone speaker crystals, you can more or less fine-tune what you see and potentially ask a question.
So do we need to stand somewhere we can get a vision of the future and see whether we succeeded or failed?
If you're in the Catacombs of the Future, you would be able to discern that to a degree. I do have one here with me. He like hands you one. Boom asked, so gives it to Boom. This thing's like, it's like a dowel. It's like 3 feet tall, 3 feet long, 3 feet tall. Technically true. Long in hand. Like you can definitely whack someone with this, but this is a crystal itself, so it would probably break. The crystal has various properties, but I will list them as thus. While standing in the archives of the past, with the crystal in hand, the creature attuned to it can experience a vision of the past. While receiving the vision, the creature can't experience another vision of the past until it's finished a long rest. While standing in the present one, same thing. That something's happening in the moment. And you can't receive another vision until you take a long rest. And with the future, you can receive a glimpse of the future of what might happen if the demon lords, from what you've told me, aren't stopped. And obviously you can't take another vision until you've taken a long rest. While standing in the appropriate archive, the individual attuned to this crystal can expend 2 of the crystal charges to ask a question pertaining to the past, present, or future, and receive a truthful answer in the form of a vision.
Do we have to be in the correct archive for asking the question?
Depends on the question you're asking, but yes.
Okay.
Like if it pertains to the past, present, or future of the Underdark, yes, you would. You can't ask the future archive area. What can you tell me about the former mayor? That would be past information.
Well, this sounds quite useful. So what does everybody think? Should we go to the archive of the future and find out what happens if we screw up? Might help us figure out what we're trying to stop.
Eh.
Well-
Future.
The thing that we could ask in the future is, how do we die? So we can avoid our death and thus win. We could also go to the past. Maybe we would want to double check on that that spirit that angel we released, to see if he actually was telling us the complete truth, why he was locked up in there.
Isn't he like right there?
Yeah,
Is he
I
here?
thought he had told us everything already, and he'd been pretty nice, you know.
He is there, but currently not depicted. I don't know why.
How many
I did not
charges
say
does this
that out
rod
loud,
have?
I was thinking that. To be fair, my god would probably ask me to say my mind, so I would maybe say that. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I said it.
That's fine. He's like in the. I'm gonna say he's still lost because that makes sense. Because why he's not here? He like rounds the corner after you said that. Doesn't know what you said.
Okay.
Better luck next
Uh,
time.
And the current is how to close the portals? At least that is what I can bring up. I'm not the smartest person here, so maybe I should not be saying that.
Most of
Dacha.
us aren't the smartest person here.
Yeah, Dacha looks.
That's
Well,
the smartest person.
that's honestly a good question to ask. I honestly don't know what you're talking about, but if this man knows how to close the portals, that would be a good question to ask. But Boom, you know that the crystal only has 1 charge per day. So once you use it, I'm going to give you 2 charges because that makes sense because it says amount of charges and you have to expend
charges, yeah.
2. And that wouldn't make no sense.
What? You need to have 2 charges to... Okay.
Yeah.
That's... Are you sure it's only 1 or 2?
It doesn't tell me though. You know, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I'm not a fan of how this is written.
Are you sure? I can vaguely remember somebody once telling me that Out of the Abyss has a horrible PDF.
And this is why the archives here do not store anything in PDF form.
That is quite true. Yes.
No.
Uh,
No, they store an STL.
yeah, it doesn't tell me. I'm gonna look through the index. I'm sure they have items you get here, even though it would make more sense to have them in the chapter, or at the very least an overview of said items.
Or a page reference.
Nope.
Like, you get the item found on this page.
Okay, found it, but not thanks to the PDF. Stone Speaker Crystal. Wondrous item rare. Requires attunement, so you need to attune to it. So like 30 minutes later. Created by the Stone Giant Librarian of Graven Hollow. This 19-inch long. So it's not as long as I thought. It's still pretty tall though.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Boo. Wait, what are you talking about? 19 inches is big. Anyways,
That's a joke.
I know. Shards Quartz. Just turning it around you. You grants you advantage on intelligence checks while it is on your person. So you have advantage on intelligence checks. The crystal has 10 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend some of its charges to cast one of the following spells from it. Speak with animals, 2 charges. Speak with dead, 4 charges. Or speak with plants, 3 charges. I'm just gonna save.
Sorry,
This
speak
item
to
is
animals,
gonna
speak
be
with dead. What was
blue.
the last one?
Speak with plant.
Plants.
Speak with plants, that's right.
So
I'm gonna
That
do
was
this.
3
Blues, right?
charges,
Just
and then,
touch everything.
oh, that'll work.
Oh no.
Now, the Vision 1 specifically can only be used once a day, according to the PDF.
And according to the other thing that was not in the PDF, that also gave it 10 charges instead of 1.
Yeah, the 10 charges, I don't really care. It's obviously used for, like, casting those spells. But the Vision 1 specifically, you can only use it once a day. So you have to expend a charge to see a vision. 2 charges
One
to...
charge once per day. Sorry,
I'm
I cut
assuming
you
it recharges on a long rest. It doesn't... I don't know if I've ever said this. Quite literally, the
Never
thing
done
I
before.
posted in Discord is everything they tell me about the crystal. If I had to guess, it doesn't recharge. Based of how it's written.
It doesn't recharge? Oof.
I guess.
Luckily, the advantage
What
on
would-
intelligence checks it doesn't require charges.
Yeah, one would think it recharges, but yeah, it just doesn't have a whole lot for you.
To be fair, talking with everything is rather good.
Yeah. Let's see here. While standing in the archive of the past with the crystal in hand, the creature can choose to experience a vision of the past. I've seen the vision of the creature. Okay. So apparently you don't have to expend a charge to see a vision, but you can expend 2 charges to get a direct question answered.
So you can get a vision, but if you want the translation, you'll have to spend charges. Okay.
And has how many charges to ask a question?
2
2. Okay, spend.
in the
And
appropriate
question is open once
archive.
a day, or-
That being said, though, if you do want to experience a vision within any of the catacombs, any of the areas, you can only experience one a day, and then you have to take a long rest.
To experience a vision.
A vision.
Well, and how many charges are in this thing currently?
I'm gonna say 10.
He just gives you a dead one. He's like, sorry.
It has one charge remaining.
Well, what
Sorry,
about
I used
this?
it last night.
So what if we go to the Archive of the Future and have a vision first, just to see what kind of fecal matter occurs? Once we know, then we can go ahead and ask an appropriate question regarding how to prevent this defecation from ruining us all.
Fair. There's
Yeah,
actually-
go
well,
look at a future that's never gonna happen. Yeah, that'll be useful.
Well, then what do you want to do? Look at something in the current that we cannot act upon.
I mean, current information's good. Past information, I still
Unless they
got this
are-
about the Sword of Isaac, but yeah,
Unless
Yeah,
they
I mean-
literally are opening the portal like right now.
well, preparing portals and yeah, knowing exactly what the people were doing right now would be handy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. It's just that we need to be very careful because right now is very short compared to past and future. Like if we are off by 3 minutes, it is really painful, if you know what I mean. Like, what is happening right now at the portal place? Nobody there. They'll start in 13 minutes.
Up, it was the present 3 minutes ago. Now it's the past. You're in the wrong
Yeah,
archive.
Yep, sucks to be you. You're wrong archived again. Man, who would have guessed?
Well, dependent on what you try to ask or what vision you see. If it's the present of at that moment in time. It's more nuanced than 3 seconds ago. I think I'm a keeper of the past, so I'm honestly not sure. But probably.
Well, it makes sense that something they're
So-
presently trying to do might take more than 3 seconds to do, so fair enough.
Also, would you not know because you literally come right? So when does the past begin?
Don't really know. I just get visions while I meditate, so rather vague.
So you and the current never had a vision on the same day that was basically the same but slightly different
Correct.
because you saw it after the tea party.
Yes.
I don't understand time. It's confusing.
Quite true.
Bear me.
I recommend clocks that do not have the little hands on them pointing at the numbers.
But then how can you read the clock if you have no pointers?
You get one that just shows you the numbers. I'm sure they could invent that.
Oh, you mean like digital? Like,
I
but
don't
how
know.
then do you know it's morning or evening?
No idea. Honestly, the overworld or the surface world, rather, is like a dream to most of us. In fact, from our point of view, you yourselves are like little fragments of yeah, quite literally
fragments of-
fragments of a dream.
Well, it is true. The surface world really is like a dream. Unfortunately, all too often it's more like a nightmare.
Fair, so it's the same about like here, but instead of having drow, we have elves. And instead of having Duragar, we have dwarves. And instead of having goblins, we have goblins. So yeah, it's mostly the same.
Basically, it's easier to see the blood of people killing each other. It's a great selling point.
No, you just see that it is red instead of black.
We're generally pacifists. Well, the librarians, unless you provoke or do something to the library. So I'll just take your
really?
word for it.
So nobody has ever tried to burn your books?
I said
Never would have done that.
unless someone, but prefer you not to do it.
You tried and succeeded at different things.
Fair,
but yes,
fair.
if you need any more help, just let me know. But I'm rather busy. While he was talking to you, he was cataloging some things.
Yeah, absolutely, Fart. What do you know about the Sword of Isaac?
It's not in Underdark, so I don't know anything about it.
It's never been in the Underdark?
That's funny. It might have been once. From what I can tell, it might have been drawn from a being known as blanking on the name. Does anyone know the famous drow that's technically good?
Drizzt Do'Urden.
Visitors.
Drizzt.
Quite some centuries ago by a man named Drizzt Do'Urden. I knew the name, I just forgot it. But thank you. Quite some time ago. I believe he sometimes goes by Drizzle. But since then, he gave it to someone heading towards the surface world. And I'm not sure where it lies now. From what I can tell, the last person that wielded it after him was a man named Bob Filbert.
Bob Filbert.
Ah,
The legend. The man, the legend.
the man, the legend, the myth.
Human, quite pale, red hair.
I
5'7"
Bob.
Maybe a merchant, I'm not quite sure. He had some things in a wagon being pulled by a spider.
By a spider? So
There's
he's
not
one of the-
many horses that survive down here.
Fair. I was gonna say maybe he's one of those lolly lovers, but
Does he work in an office and have a curly tie?
I don't know after he left.
And
the
how many
Underdark.
years ago was this?
Some time ago, but if I had to discern, when he was 20, so he would be 40 now.
oh, When he was in the Underdark, did he ever say where he lived?
Not that I remember. Oh, not that the text state. I don't remember every vision I get, and unfortunately, the catalog system is my own perception of things, so not anything I've seen. They did mention like passive things like in my home country, in my home city, my neighbors, and things of that note, like most people do to do small talk, but nothing specific.
Interesting.
So, have you ever experienced the past more than once?
Yes.
I know
Fascinating.
the same past.
Not sure what you mean, like deja vu.
Oh, I've heard this saying that those who do not remember the past are doomed to repeat it. Although, if you remember experiencing the past more than once, that suggests that you remembered it. So, I'm not sure that counts.
Plus, he like literally knows more about the past than any other person, probably because the visions.
Sorry, it's just something I recall from some of our philosophy classes back in school before I got drafted into the army.
Oh,
Man,
fair enough,
well,
my friend.
Yeah, they only taught us stabbing too.
No, I had a philosophy class once.
Yeah.
It was really strange.
Well, my wizard school wasn't focused on trying to kill anything. The war was kind of an unfortunate side effect, and let's just say it changed my major.
Fair.
The man looks towards Toulouse. Anything you need answered, I suppose, young sir?
Toulouse taught me how to spell philosophy. Does that count?
Prove it.
No. For what?
Okay, Toulouse spell philosophy.
Missed a really great opportunity to just spell out philanthropy right there. Sorry.
My character can, but my real life self can't.
You begin to spell philosophy. It is like intricate, it is unique. You spell it on the ground, you write it in the air with magic. It is glorious.
Beautiful. I put finesse into it.
Mhm.
I use my new spell. I use my new whatever arcane trickster spell, Shadow Blade, and draw it out with my new.
You draw it in shadows, like warping the air around you.
Finger paint.
Well,
The
clearly
stone.
this proves you can both spell philosophy. It does not prove that Talise taught you, though, Kobo.
There's a couple of neon middle
Taught me
fingers
how to
behind the
read.
word.
Insight check. I'm gonna try and roll insight, see if I believe Kobo.
It was like, you were there, man.
Boom.
I can't believe
All
you
right.
guys let me roleplay a spelling bee.
All right,
You
Kobo, you gonna roll your
think-
deception or whatever?
No.
now, you
It was a
think he was
deception.
taught. You for sure remember he was taught something. Specifics, you weren't really there, or at least you weren't paying attention to that. But he spelled it correctly. You didn't see him cheat.
All right.
The stone giant then states, I feel like we went on a tangent there. Congratulations on both of you understanding how to write words. But I did ask the young sir if he needed anything answered.
I don't. Let me see. Do I? Let's see. We are in Gryffindor fighting bad monsters.
I only asked because generally you were quiet this entire time.
I know. I was listening. Right. No, I don't have any questions right now. Actually, I really don't.
It's quite alright.
Thank you, though.
That's, but yes, if you need any lodgings, the area outside of this library can accommodate you. The Keeper of the Future did mention that you would be arriving sometime soon. So we had people stationed prepared just in case you were arrive. Well, you were expected to arrive a week ago. Hopefully, the basilisk we sent out there is okay.
Well, we didn't murder him.
I didn't mean that way. I mean like if he was hungry or something. Good gracious,
didn't
what do you
murder
all
us either.
do?
You know, basilisks are really terrifying. Yes, yes.
Well, we do get accused of having really bad motivations, so we got to get
It's like-
defensive sometimes.
There's like a beholder eye strapped to my shield. Like,
That's one thing, but then there's the other of he knows the watchdog, he knows they're a nice, kind individual. There's a difference. But the man does state, I suppose that's only true as long as you try to converse with them. You shouldn't have had an issue. Although
And
it's
Well, actually,
we
that's a
didn't.
good question.
a little
What
morbid.
did happen when we met him?
Let me check.
Got a tag.
Went into one of his little hidey holes.
13. It's relatively recent knowledge, but not so recent it is in the past anymore. From what I can tell, like in it, immediately he goes into a meditative stance because it's not written anywhere just yet. And he goes, "Oh, you met with them. One of you disappeared out of nowhere, and then you began to speak with him, and then you appeared out of nowhere, and then you followed him here."
Ah, yes. Good old invisible party member. I just go ahead and pat the air right next to me.
It was you that became invisible. I don't know why you did, but sure.
Well, I only heard that it was somebody. We have no idea who that could have been. All right. Well, I guess that means
If it
there's
wanted to go into
detailed record.
specifics, I suppose. I assumed you knew who
Yeah.
it was.
Well, if I knew who it was, I wouldn't need to be asking to verify.
Mm.
I mean, it was your
Hey, it's
party
like-
that went underneath this entire thing. Would you not already know?
So Toulouse didn't have a question?
No.
Sorry.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
I
And
suppose
nobody else does.
you feel like the stone giant isn't too sure if Boom is fully mentally there, so he more or less goes on a defensive stance, like not prepared to attack or being attacked. It's more like I didn't mean to imply anything, but I suppose I guess specifics would be more helpful or beneficial. This man named I don't think you give him names, but he points towards you, Boom. Went forwards to try to spy with the basilisk with his I assume familiar, since it was able to listen to you and adhere your advisement. Moved forward. He gives you the rundown, but this time with specifics to make sure Boom understands what happened. Because he believes that Boom might have some type of memory issue.
That's okay. I was just having a little bit of fun. Although I must say, I imagine that with somebody like you here, probably nobody can get away with lying on their resume.
Depends on how well you do, or if it's information outside of the Underdark. Again, we mainly prioritize not breaking things.
Rip.
We mainly prioritize information from the Underdark and the Stone Giant. Well, the Giants in general. Since we lost a good amount of our ancient text, history, and civilization, we have brought it upon ourselves to collect it while it's still here and potentially grow it further in the coming years, centuries, and decades. Not necessarily in that order.
Hey, that's what happens when you get into war with dragons.
Very true. But yes.
Yeah. No, thanks for answering all our questions for no reason. That was really helpful.
Of course. Again, the archives themselves can give you better answers, but these are vision answers that I have collected within my own mind. So it's in the perspective of an individual. So the archives can give you a more precise answer rather than my own perception, I suppose.
Seems fair.
Otherwise, it'd make no sense why I gave you this item.
Does anybody remember the name of the two fiends that are getting married?
What, are fiends getting married?
Oh yeah, Brack. That's sort of the whole reason we're down here. If they get married, they kind of rip one of those rifts open again, and may not be able to close it.
Tripta state. Yeah, quite right. We are honestly not his voice, but he's been changing voices his entire time. Yeah, quite right. Honestly, we were hired to do, this whole wedding thing down here, and they said like 2 demon lords were getting married down here, and like it might be the same wedding. So they offered to let us join their group for a while.
Is one of them Jubilex?
They just told us to meet us in the place. I don't know the name.
People. I do not know if you know your Scientology and your history and things like that, but in general, if you start calling names from creatures that have high divine power and stuff like that, they can listen in, right?
How does you even know this?
Really?
What? Like that should be that is common knowledge, right?
No.
Or am I just going mad?
Like high-leveled individuals with like specific information would know this. This is not common knowledge. Like, it's not common knowledge that mind flayers exist. It is, outside of game, but not in game. Like, not everyone knows that you're casting spells. Not everyone knows that spell names. Like, oh, that's a fireball. No, that's just a ball made out of fire. Like, not everyone knows specific things. Gothos would know this specific thing, and I'm going to say, Brack, I'm going to say you know a few things here and there, so that doesn't stand out, or is that a character? But Gothos, you would know this.
Well,
I try to mispronounce it as much as I can, but also I've been saying fuck Magoogliet, the goblin god of despair and agony, and basically everything about our people on a regular basis, and I'm still here, no lightning bolts.
Maybe because they're not written into this module.
Well, okay, I'm just gotta... maybe I learned it when I knew me, I don't know.
Probably your mom taught it. Yeah, I'm gonna say your mom probably taught you, like, while you were making and carving into rocks, she told you, like, she probably warned you, like, don't write a name of someone high in value or some demonic thing or being because they can listen to you. Kind of like a scrying spell. It immediately draws in their attention to you. And it can be done in multiple ways, and it can be done in multiple instances. It can't just be in the moment in time. They can draw their attention towards many individuals, not just one.
Thank you, Mom.
So wise.
My
So
mom is great.
unexpectedly wise.
Well, she is a dwarf. They are wise.
Oh, look at you, Carrot.
Yeah, a while ago, you were probably like writing the name Tyr into one of the rocks you were making. And your mom probably told you not to do that.
Oh, I am now a servant. No, I'm not a servant of Tyr. I am a servant of. What is the other dwarven god again?
Moradin.
Enzo Morenz. Yeah, Moradin is what you said, I believe.
Yeah, it's Moradin.
It's what's in my notes. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's also in my notes.
Yeah. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Don't remember. But anyways, yeah, your mom probably told you to like be wary of that, like in case you don't want them specifically to watch over you, because some of them don't like certain races, certain people, certain species, certain alignments. So if they watch over you, there's a higher chance of like mishappenings and things of that nature. But I digress. Gothos, he tells you this, and you go like, "Oh yeah, that's true. I wonder why my former god didn't do anything." Oh,
Middle fingers to the sky. Okay, yes. So I guess I'll like
but
like
Tripta,
write out half of it and then like make a big space and write the other half of the name.
but Tripta state, I honestly don't know. Changed his voice again. But it could have been. They never really. It's not supposed to be like this. Don't. I'm just gonna go with the last one. Don't really know. Never really gave us a title thing. It just says like, congratulations, you are being hired to wed the Fungus Queen and the Demon Prince.
Blade would remember. She was all enchanted by her and stuff.
She also lost her memory when that happened. She also doesn't know the name. She was just taken over. You ask her this and she goes, honestly, I was just taken over. You would have, honestly, this general better viewpoint than I had.
Yeah, and I don't know if Kobo would remember the name, but Tyler does not, because it's been a while.
You guys can roll
I know
history,
fun.
I guess.
Yeah, it was the goddess of fungus and rot. And
I mean, I did say that because I had it in my notes because someone had told us it at one point.
Uh-huh. But this Gothos remember in this point in time.
I guess we'll find out, won't we? I think I do.
Oh, you need a natural 20, so I guess you don't.
I want to try. Can I try?
Yeah, go for it. I'm pretty sure Gothos got it, but go for it.
Oh, I don't know anything. I forgot everything. Holy shit! What the? I didn't try. Ignore that.
No, I'm not gonna ignore it.
hold on a second.
There's a marriage
That was
going
the
on.
first time I ever
What?
used stunning powder.
Wait, what are you using?
No, that was that fight when we fought that queen of.
Oh,
Rock
yeah.
Fungus. That was the first time I used my stun powder, and it worked, and we survived and kicked ass.
Yeah. I heard. Hang on. Wait a second. It's the first time I'm going to use my stunning powder. I'm like, wait, what are you doing?
You got more fucking stunning powder.
No,
Lord
that
Butcher?
was.
I know.
You
time I used
history,
it.
old man.
Yeah,
But
let's send him and rob him blind. What could go wrong?
Kobo and Gothos, you can tell. You needed this 15. It's not that difficult. You both got it. You can tell that the individuals that are set to arrive and meet each other are Zugt Moyes, Zuggtmoy. They were the individual that grew funguses and took over the fungal network in the area for some time. You managed to dispel them for a bit, but they are returning, and or have returned already. They were the individual in the Neverlight Grove that are making their way towards the assembly of the wedding area. They are dangerous. They're highly controlling, quite literally, because if you're unlucky, their spores, you've already seen this, can take you over. You saw it in the people she took over. You saw it in the fungal network she took over. Basically, very bad being. Very beautifully dark, but very bad being. The other entity that is set to meet them, you know as... it's not that. I just saw it. I just can't remember.
Jublex.
Is known as Jubilex. You are correct. This individual themselves spawns and creates a whole bunch of things. But the main thing you saw and took note of...
Sorry. That's a major technical difficulty.
You good?
Yep, so hopefully nothing was critical involving me.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Oh, no.
The first demon lord is Zugt Moy, Zuggtmoy. Highly control of mind spores control. The second one is Jubilex, and you met them when you were facing off the Pudding King. You managed to defeat them, but there's someone else that's going to take over that power. You found the individual that was being controlled by them, cleaned them, set them on their merry way, currently assisting a mad wizard. Well, technically mad doctor, but... yeah. Anyways, these are the two individuals that are to meet.
It's called de-escalation and rehabilitation.
And it's statistically proven more efficient and effective than incarceration.
The
Yeah.
Pudding King, now the Pudding Apprentice.
You didn't get too much information on him other than they were able to make the Pudding King. And the individual that took over was named Sever Fliblin. I forgot these names.
Thought Severe Fliblin was the Deep Gnome race.
Oh, right.
Nevlin.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you're right. It just tells me the players might want to seek more information on the mad Serafiblim or his fiendish master.
Is that why I wrote we need to find somebody that knows deep speech?
So,
Probably.
so maybe we should find more information on that mad Slivlin.
Either?
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess we sort of talked to him. We didn't get too much information about his lord, but I really don't think we have time to go back.
He told you his name, which would be Jubilex. You guys already know that.
Yeah.
But you really didn't get any other information. You didn't really ask. It's just like he was outcasted from his own world. Just because he tried to speak with like plants and animals and stuff like that. Like he was considered weird, so they kicked him out. Whole side story thing. He was supposed to be mad, but the way they wrote him, I didn't think it'd be mad. I think it's just be like highly depressed and like wanting a friend.
Disenfranchised. Yeah.
But yeah. Toulouse, on the other hand, he knows specifically who these people are that are going to meet together. One of them is known as Kirog, an individual that is highly powerful and is a follower of Orcus.
Now I know about Orcus. How much does Gothos know about Orcus?
Depends if Toulouse says anything.
Yeah.
Even mentions
I'm
it.
like, yeah,
and
I'm
the-
wrong, aren't I? I rolled a nat 1.
And the other individual is known as Baphomet, the Horned King.
Yeah, it's
The demon lord.
and Baphomet dies.
This
Oh,
just
no.
looks at Toulouse like, no.
Yeah,
We
the,
did not kill Baphomet or
yeah,
Bahamut.
it's Hirgog. It's Hirgog and Baphomet.
It'd be Baphomet, not Bahamut. That's a
Okay.
dragon.
Baphomet.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I was like, we did not kill Bahamut.
We killed the behemoth,
What? You
okay?
killed what? Killed Bahamut? Oh no, no,
The
no.
behemoth.
That's
I
not
thought
a,
Bahamut was like King of the Dragons, unkillable super power.
matriarch of the dragons. It's a female, I think. But yeah.
I
We
thought
didn't
that
no,
was
kill
somebody
him.
raised
Time
the
That's
path.
time That's time.
Yeah, Tiamat's the female, Bahamut's the male. Yeah.
Oh no.
And
In any
what
case,
happens when you roll
no,
that
it's-
one.
Yeah. Pretty sure it was Zuckmoy and Jubilex. Yeah.
Oh shit!
You
Are
say
sure
it
it's
not
not-
in those names. You say it generally enough so everyone gets the understanding of who you're talking about.
Yeah, Zuckmoy and Juba, not Lex.
Oh no.
Hey, the. Oh wait, did we scare off the?
Oh, I
Did
thought you
leave?
left. You can go back.
Oh yeah, no, that's
I
fine.
was just walking and talking.
I mean, like,
Hey,
quite literally the last sentence you said was, yeah, hey, thanks for answering our random questions. That
Yep.
felt like you were leaving.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
that's a.
You
that's a
round the
good-
corner, I guess.
No. If we do that, we'll never stop talking to him.
That is true.
Well, as we leave, I narrow my eyes at Kobo and say, I'll believe you this time.
Are you still on that?
It's true.
So
This
when
time.
did he stop believing Kobo
And
and
then
everything?
I'm
that
just
he
here
said?
spouting out nonsense. Like,
Doesn't believe that Toulouse taught me how to read.
I can't remember shit.
Oh, Kobo may believe that's what happened, but he also believed he saw his dad the other day.
Sure, Kobo might believe the evidence of his eyes, but I think we all know.
Wow.
For all we know, he might have learned it from Eldeth.
Oh no, not Aldeth.
She just looks towards you and scoffs. Says nothing. But
Hey,
Andrew,
hey Toulouse, does your compass thing still work in here?
I don't know, does it?
you look at your compass and it's currently like spinning.
It's just
Yeah,
going.
It
going.
got us to the library. That's all it's gonna do.
Yeah, alright. Alright
Off
then,
my own info on Gothstocks and Jujubes.
I don't know, you guys seem to want to see the future guy for some reason. We can do that if you want.
Oh, we could go to the present if you think that's sensible. The only reason I was thinking the future is if we can see what happens if we fail, then that might give us an idea what we need to do to not have it fail. Well, but essentially, I mean, if there's some, and keep in mind, I've really got no idea what's going on. So if you guys got a better idea of what we want to find out in the present, then I'm all ears.
I mean, yeah, something as simple as where are they now might be great.
With the
Fair enough.
Chip then states, with the future people? Won't they tell us like where they'll be?
No, that's why we're debating over
Like,
maybe going to the archive of the present.
That makes sense. This is my third voice today.
Hey, at least you are trying to find a new voice.
Not purposely.
don't worry, there are plenty of voices to be had around here.
I just keep
And
losing
I'm
his
telling
cadence.
you, it's true.
I just keep forgetting his cadence, so I can't pick it up. Oh well.
And musicians are always finding their voice.
From what I remember, it was
He's got to keep exercising his throat muscles so he can sing
Yeah.
in all pitches.
from what I remember, it was bad fake English, but I don't remember what it was specifically.
Well, if we go to the archive of the present now, we can go to the archive of the future later.
Okay.
Yeah, especially because if we went to the archive of the future and then went to the present and changed all our decisions, the future prediction is not really that useful. Also, it'll never be useful. Ah,
Well, there should.
Well,
well,
that is
the
just a
past
matter
didn't
of
help us too
perspective.
much.
I've decided to
Maybe
give
the present
Gotha.
has more knowledge.
Yeah. As a character thing, I've decided to give Gothos a distrust of fortune tellers.
Sure.
Why not, right? Because they're charlatans. No. They are
They
though.
ruined gambling for you.
That is usually what gambling does to itself. Unless you're a
Well,
hooker,
seeing as
then you're just addicted.
No, I'm
we're
just
all in the present right now,
Because
let's
Gothos is
go to an
a
appropriate archive.
paladin of a gambling god.
Yeah, so he would make sense for him not to. Yeah.
I got it.
Ah,
Then I just called Goat as a hooker. It's fine.
That's a good thing you don't believe in counting cards.
That's a legitimate skill. Count the cards is less of a luck-based game than everybody thinks.
Yeah.
True.
You say
Comes a
that
numbers
like
game.
Who's rolling survival to get you to the present?
I'll try it.
Let's- I don't think we're
Go
gonna beat
for it.
that 17. What do you think? Double nat
That's
20s?
still disadvantage, right?
Oh, I thought Toulouse was doing it.
I don't want to. I only have a 2 in survival.
It'd be
I'll
fun,
try
though.
it. I'll try it.
It was almost good.
Ooh,
Do
you
it.
almost got it.
Disadvantage? Disadvantage?
Yeah.
Boom. See? Nothing.
boom.
You
Hey,
beat
you rolled
boom.
better than I did, sort of.
Times 2. Okay. Honestly, I already told you what you needed to roll, so it was 15. You got it. You get towards the corridor of the present, and you get a weird feeling within your palm. Boom. You can tell that the crystal is resonating within this area. You don't have to use it, but the crystal is stabilizing, so you don't like randomly get a vision of something random. You've already
Alright, well-
accidentally used the vision of the past.
Did
So
we?
you're
'Cause I thought
saying
that
he
vision was
split it.
before we got the thing.
Uh-huh.
Or he gets one a day per room? That's not what. I mean, that's what you're implying.
Once a day, and the giant
I don't know, man. I'm gonna tell you outright. This way is written weird. All right.
Okay,
I'm just gonna tell you. Approaching
we
the
gotta prevent-
librarians. If the creatures set out to find a librarian, Uthor is the one that they find easily enough. I didn't care who you found first, so I gave you that one. Following the events, Uthor, the guy you just spoke with, offers the characters one of the librarians' stone speaker crystals, which you just have. If you don't have their own, I don't know how you would have your own, but instructing them on how to attune to it. He warns the characters to not let themselves become lost in the visions they will experience. Stone speaking crystal.
You did not warn us of that, by the
appendix.
way.
Yeah, I'm telling you now. That's why I'm telling you now. That's why I said the thing is vibrating in your hand. Like, I kept it vague, but whatever. While standing in the archives of the past with the crystal in hand, the creatures can choose to experience a vision of the past. After receiving the vision, the creatures can't experience another vision of the past until it finishes a long rest. So according to the way it's written, you can do any of them, you just can't do it again until a long rest. So you can experience all three, you just can't experience double on the same day.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, Gatos, I forgot to warn you.
It's okay. We forget to ask people's names half the time.
I'm going to say he told you, do be careful on getting yourselves lost within the visions you see. It will expend time, and honestly, it's information you'll gain, but it all depends on how you use it and let's face it, according to your track record, it does seem here that you often forget it.
Especially considering the librarian
you I'm
gave it
on
to
the record.
Boom, and then like 10 seconds later, he's like, "Wait, do you have a memory problem?" Uh-oh. That is
Alright.
that. Be careful with that wand, okay?
I'm in no hurry to use it. Why don't we go ahead and talk to Ormos and see what Ormos has to say?
Sounds good.
You talk to Ormos, which they all look the same, because that's how they're viewed in the PDF.
Do their names all start with U?
Yes.
Are you just
Okay.
noticing that now?
Well, I had written Ormos with an O and Ostava
Oh.
with an O, but apparently they're Ormos and Ostava.
Uthar Urmos Ustava.
I don't know.
Alrighty
If they're
then.
all going to be the same person just from the past, present.
Wearing different hats.
Maybe they are.
Yes.
Maybe
Uh,
he ain't.
Well, different clothes.
That's who I once was. Maybe in the future I will become someone else.
They all look the same, except the woman one like wears a shawl, I think, over their boob area.
Ah, so they're
Bosom.
Hmm.
That's funny.
All right.
Yeah,
so
for
that-
us, sure.
So the same
This
man,
is supported in D&D.
you believe, no, Urmos stands where you saw him last. Oh, you returned. Welcome, I
Yes,
suppose.
welcome, Preston.
Something can help you with? I'm rather busy right now.
Yeah. No, somebody else go. I talk a lot.
No, actually, I was going to suggest you do because you've got more of an idea of what you want to know than I do.
Okay. Yeah, so we're not saying Demon Lord names, so bear with me here.
Goth
You have any-
socks and Jubilee.
Yes,
What was the first one?
Goth socks.
Oh,
Oh,
socks?
it's supposed to be
Well,
Zugmoy.
phonetically. Yeah.
How does that? Sure.
What? No,
Sure.
So what's the proper name? Because I do not want to write down goth socks.
the real one is Zugtmoy, right? And
Yeah.
Jubilex.
Uh-huh.
Scare fog
Okay,
and Bakumo.
There's a
close enough.
Zugmoy,
So interested in.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna start doing it, but if you just want to spell it out, go for it.
Zugtmoy, Zuggtmoy, Jubilex, Juiblex.
Juiblex?
Yes.
Like
Alrighty.
Jubilee, but with an X.
Yeah.
But from the 80s, yo.
Well, I'm surprised that I got Zugtmoy spelled right, but Jubilex not.
If I had to guess, it's
transposed the I and the B.
if I had to guess, it's truly pronounced Juiblex.
Jubilex.
Jubilee.
They're not doing that.
Jubilee.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you're right. I've been
Either way,
Jubilex.
you say names that are close enough that he understands. What about them?
Any information on the current whereabouts?
Hmm.
Currently planning.
Not to
'Cause I
mention,
think-
yeah,
How many days out are we from the wedding?
I think a month.
Okay.
It's what I told you last time. Yep, a month. It's what I told you last time. He does state, from what I can tell, one is near Neverlight Grove and the other one is near the same places they were last time.
Yeah, we probably asked this last time, and I have forgotten.
It's fine. He tells you Neverlight Grove and why can't I find the other one? Grokstov. Oh wait, sorry. I remember now. It was Sloopadoop because it had the dumb name too.
Because we just been to Sloopadoop, right?
Uh,
What about the populations of both those cities? Is one of them
By
preparing?
just been, you were there 2 weeks ago. in-game time.
And real life time. No.
True. But yeah,
So yeah,
they're not in the city from what I can gather, but around the city.
right. In either of those cities, is there a significant pro-fiend faction that's preparing for, I don't know, a wedding?
More or less, they're preparing and heading towards a different destination.
A third destination. Okay. Where are they currently planning to do that?
That's future knowledge. I don't have that.
Okay, great. What about
What
the?
their current plan of action is.
Preparing, getting ready to set out.
But they obviously have a destination. They intend to go somewhere.
I don't read the minds of the visions I see.
Okay,
Mm.
I didn't know.
Have any of these people recently come into possession of, I don't know, a map?
Gonna roll. Probably. I just don't know everything about typography. And it's just, again, a general viewpoint. I don't like get specifics on detailed information. It's the same way someone observes an event.
Sure. I was just wondering if you happen to observe an event with a map.
One of them carried a map. It showed tunnel systems that I am not familiar with.
One of them, in which city? Which individual received this map?
Fungus woman, drow, half of their body was covered in fungi.
I don't think we actually know her.
I don't know.
No, yeah, you're the present guy, but I think we do.
Sure.
Is there a prominent drow involved in this wedding? Magic user of some sort?
Some
Might be
individuals
trying
are attending that are drow that have been fungied, I suppose. Others have not, or at least I can't discern if they have or haven't. Don't know anything about prominent, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if there's someone who's clearly important to the proceedings, as opposed to just being a guest.
You ask specifics? Because you have name.
What specifically can you tell me about the actions and prominent members of House Banner of Mezo-Branzan at this moment?
I just want from what I can discern and can tell you, I was going to give him an advantage on this because you gave specifics, but natural 20 is a natural 20. From what I can tell, they are currently actively doing something in their main capital city. Do you know the main capital city of the Underdark, or should I tell you?
Did I not just say Mezo-Branzan?
Yes.
Is that the main capital? I don't know much about it. We were almost slaves there. Avoided it, so...
Well, they seem to be repairing something there specifically. From what I can tell, they're making a whole bunch of magic scrolls and magic ruins on the ground all over the city itself. If I had to guess, they might be the epicenter of the wedding itself.
Any of the runes they're making the kind you might see in, I don't know, summoning rituals or an opening of a fissure?
Some of them are summoning, others are binding. Don't read the minds of the individuals I see.
Oh, no, yeah, no, that's good information. We can infer from that, thanks.
I'm just saying I don't know their specific plans.
Well, summoning ritual, and we experienced the... I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. You don't care.
Not really. Apparently, I am not nice to you. For no real particular reason.
I
You're
mean, this
pre-
guy
you're
is
preoccupied with
all
visions,
about the
yeah.
here and now.
This guy's plugged into the internet 24/7. He's reading his phone behind his own eyes.
Oh god, that explains it all.
Well, it does say
Imagine.
it does say in the PDF that
Mind corrupted by Facebook.
Ulthar is the only one that's more or less kind to you. The others don't give two. Pardon the French. It's not French. Two shits about you.
Yeah, team. So turns out the Drow and Menzoberranzan are, you've probably heard him, but summoning runes plus runes of permanence seems like a permanent gateway to me.
And runes of binding.
A binding.
Yeah. Duly noted.
And yeah, I don't really know the most about Underdark cartography, but I figure in a month they could probably make it from Sloopadoop and the Fungus City, whose name eludes me at the moment, to Menzoberranzan. So,
Do I know anything about Menzoberranzan? I mean, even though I haven't gone to the Drow City, I know it's the main Underdark capital.
Yeah. You've heard rumors. Like, I'm not going to have you roll. You can tell that it's the main capital. Like, there are other big cities, but that's the biggest one you know of. Because that's the main one. Like, if people escape, they immediately tell you, hey, I've been to this city. It's like a trophy thing, but at the exact same time, a horror story. You can tell that the Drow generally gather slaves and bring them into this area. You know, capture people from the open area, and this is where they go. They get sold off to the branching families of the main matriarch societal family, and they get like put up for auction, get tortured. It's a very bad city to be in. It has a monotonous crew of individuals there, but anyone that is in a Drow usually has some type of collar around them to indicate what family they belong to, what their status is. Like, are they someone that retrieves things, butler, mule, manservant, other. It's not a great place.
Pretty much unheard of for a non-Drow to not be a slave in Menzoberranzan.
If you are not someone that isn't a Drow and or not a slave, you have paperwork and a certain article of clothing that you are not familiar with, Kobo, because I'm not going to give you that much, that addresses and shows you are allowed to be here, allowed to be there. When someone like stops you and says paperwork, you show it to them and they let you move forwards. If you don't show it to them within, like, let's say 5 seconds, you have trouble. You have consequences. Kobo, go ahead and roll history, because I'm not going to be that mean. I'm going to give you a chance. Go ahead and see if you remember, like, the type of clothing you were told about.
I've been to Menzoberranzan and all I got was this lousy slave collar.
The clothing is no clothing at all. You must be naked, you filthy beast. You do not deserve property.
I think the biggest question I was going to ask is, do I know how to get there or get the party there?
No. People generally tell you don't go there, so they don't give you directions. Boom. Also, the collars, well, technically Kobo, are magically charged to basically kill the wearer. Like,
Not a
insta-kill.
surprise.
That being the case, though, 15 is pretty good. Kobo, you can tell that it's like a nice silken silver shawl that goes over your shoulders, like easily visible from the back or the front, and it has like a spider weave tapestry all around it. The symbol on it is the symbol of Lolth, the spider queen and the goddess, the main goddess of the Drow pantheon. And on the other side, it shows a symbol of
Also
whatever.
assassins.
What's that?
Oh, goddess of the Drow and also assassins.
Yes. And the other symbol on the other side, like the right side is Lolth, and the left side is whatever like you're allowed to do in the city.
Okay.
So like there's a symbol for merchantry, there's a symbol for traders, and there's a symbol for diplomats and stuff like that.
So, Slash, have you ever been to Menzoberranzan?
No, and I generally try to avoid that place. I know the general direction, but I've never been there personally.
Starting to think I know who the smartest of us in the group is.
Okay. But yeah, I can give you general directions, but true details, we would need to maybe hunt down someone like a hunting party from Menzoberranzan and get them to tell us. Buy a one way or the other. The other way to do it technically would be to find a spider and state the name Leolth, but remove the E.
Because now we're just not saying the words of or the names of gods we're afraid of. All right.
This session, we're gonna go
Yeah.
back next session, but it's funnier this time.
Yeah. It's
Where's
just
the
like
roll?
we're just calling her Loth now. It's easier.
Yeah, next session we're gonna go back to what we were doing, but this is funny now. Yes, that is one way of doing it, and she will call you there. She is more or less the one that controls the Underdark right now, at least for the time
Everybody
being.
stop looking at Tannhauser.
And so long as it's not as familiar, it should work. Because the familiar would be bound to the individual rather than the entity.
So, in character, I'm going to ask Toulouse, but hey, Toulouse, how exactly does your compass work here? Does it just take us here, or does it take you where you want to go?
Takes you here.
Okay. Oh, that's too bad.
You might be able to find someone that can like jerry-rig it to take you somewhere else. Like Toulouse would be
Cool.
smart enough to know that. He's pretty smart. You just need to find a person.
Well, I do have another idea real quick. Ramas, what's the best way to the city of Menzoberranzan from here?
Heading north.
If, crap, we don't have a map of the Underdark. Do you have a map of the Underdark?
It changes from time to time. Like the Feywild, it has a strange typography down here. And there are also some tunneling things down here that changes the geography quite often.
Uh-huh. But wouldn't the best way be like the most stable?
Heading north is the only information I have for you.
North from here. Great, thanks. Thanks so much.
Mm. Been working this entire time while you're talking. Yeah, 9 plus modifier just tells you to go north.
That's okay. The fungi drow woman has the map we need.
Sure.
Doodly doo.
Still working. But Trip then states, well then, gang, fourth voice today. Where shall we go next?
Unless anybody has thought of any more questions for the past fellow. I think there's only one way to go.
East?
To the future.
Bobo gets it.
You also haven't slept for the last 13 hours, so there's that.
We're adventurers. Most people are up for 16 hours a day anyway, so.
I'm just saying it's getting close to sleeping time.
Ready bar time.
That's actually good timing because if we talk to the future guy and then go ahead and use our magic wand, then we can use it again tomorrow morning when we get up.
What will happen if we don't go to sleep tonight?
Enter the state exhaustion. You weather your body and it becomes hard to do some certain things. Your muscles get fatigued. Your strength diminishes a bit.
Mental facilities are reduced. Essentially, you take a disadvantage on almost everything you do.
I feel like the Keeper of the Future could have given us more specifics as to how big a mistake that would be.
He doesn't like you.
Yeah.
The PDF
Yeah.
tells me he doesn't like
It'd
you.
be up for to hear that.
The only reason why he's talking to you because you mentioned the demon lords that are here. That's quite literally the thing that tells me if the players mention the Demon Lords in the Underdark, you have his undivided attention. He's still answering questions, but he's like doing paperwork in the background.
Well, so we caught his attention with the Demon Lord thing. So
This is why he's answering
we
these
should ask
questions.
more- yeah, maybe we should ask more pressing. What
Lay-
would
yeah, lay these
stop
questions
you
on
from
me.
Succeeding?
What was that?
Yeah. What would Kurt? Because we're talking to the present person right now, right?
Yes.
What would right now stop their plans from coming to fruition?
Probably defeating them.
Right now in the present.
Probably defeating them. Separately.
Yeah,
Like,
If they get close together,
Right.
physically in a-
Kobo,
be
Kobo,
facing
he's
two.
not a fortune teller. He sees what's happening right now.
Okay. I don't know if he saw their if they had like a scroll with their plans on it, and he said, "Oh, if you do this, it might stop them." Currently, even though it might not be applicable in the future.
like he told you what they're doing. They're heading towards, well, now you've gathered that heading towards Menza Berenzin. It's not as if he knows every single detail of every single plan.
No,
It's a good call, though.
I do understand that.
But he doesn't know, like, how to specifically do everything. Again, they're pacifists unless you actively destroy their library or do anything to
Ooh.
cause danger.
So, the other thing, sorry, I know I cut you off a little bit there.
Yeah, go.
I don't want to forget. So I asked you about the House of Banrib. What about the other houses of Menzo Baranzan? Are they involved in this as well, or is it just the House Banra effort?
Many of the other houses, but it's mainly theirs. Because it doesn't specify any other house, but I am assuming, like most societies, they group together to do things. And also, you would, add a game, you would know that other houses are also doing things, you just don't really know which ones. The house that basically imprisoned you, they were up to some stuff, and we're going to send you to Menza Baranzan. You just never figured out why.
Uh-huh. Also, I don't know if the PDF tells you this, but House Banner is like they're number one. They're like the biggest house in
Yeah.
Menzo.
It's not like he specifically knows, but yeah. It doesn't tell me, but I assume because it gave you a specific name.
They only named one, so I figured they're the big guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly. But he does state more than likely a multitude of them since they live in a society. So, more than likely one house